he always used to act it when like defenders.
I think it's like
people deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Bro. Come on.
Graham Potter has been sacked, people. Breaking news, Graham Potter has been sacked from his position as manager of Chelsea Football Club. People deluded, I'm back again. Breaking news once again, Graham Potter has been sacked. He is the latest Premier League managerial casualty. We've seen Vieira, Nathan Jones, actually recently Graham Potter, not only Graham Potter, Antonio Conte, and so on, so Brendan Rodgers. There's been a lot of casualties in the Premier League. Graham Potter is the latest. It hasn't worked out. It cost a lot of money to buy him from Brighton to become the manager anyways. It's probably cost a lot of money to sack him. Obviously, there's been a lot of money spent, and there'll have to be a lot of other money spent by Chelsea to get them back where they are. As you can see in front of me, people, you can see it on the website. You know, Chelsea obviously lost to Aston Villa in their last recent game in the Premier League. Chelsea has announced that Graham Potter has departed the club. Graham Potter has agreed to collaborate with the club to facilitate a smooth transition. Now, what does that mean, first and foremost? What the hell does that mean, really and truly? Smooth transition. Is he still going to take training? Is he going to collaborate, you know, potential information he's gained to the new manager? Is he going to help with the process? I don't know what tomorrow is going to be for Chelsea Football Club. In his time with the club, Graham has taken us to the quarterfinal of the Champions League, where we will face Real Madrid. Chelsea would like to thank Graham for all his efforts and contribution and wish him well for the future. Now, that's a bit of pill for him to swallow. Obviously, you know, Chelsea was a step up. Ultimately, he's failed to do it. The owners of Chelsea Football Club have said, on behalf of everybody at the club, we want to thank Graham sincerely for his contribution to Chelsea. We have the highest degree of respect for Graham as a coach and as a person. He has always conducted himself with professionalism and integrity, and we are all disappointed in this outcome. Along with our incredible fans, we will be getting behind Bruno and the team as we focus on the rest of the season. We have 10 Premier League games remaining and the Champions League quarter-final ahead. We will put every effort and commitment into every one of those games so that we can end the season on a high. Personally, I think Chelsea, you know, probably were a bit generous to Graham Potter, really, because it felt like the plug needed to be pulled a long time ago. Obviously, there's a lot of excuses you have to cut Graham Potter. He's been the first manager to take the job post Roman Abramovich. Obviously, there's a lot of transition going on in all aspects of Chelsea Football Club. They've got far too many players probably in training from Monday to Friday and contracted, so you are always going to be doomed. That being said, the dynamics he can control. Graham Potter ball, a brand of football, defending competently, attacking competent, and all of them things. He hasn't shown that. Nobody knows what Graham Potter ball is. There was a point under Mikel Arteta at my own club where you couldn't always see what he wanted to do, but there was a point where you could see exactly what he wanted to do from a technical and tactical point of view. He just never had the personnel. That hasn't been extended to Graham Potter. Now the players have to take responsibility. Ultimately, the owners, God knows who's going to be the next manager. They've been linked with Julian Nagelsmann primarily. Probably tomorrow be linked with Luis Enrique, so on and so forth. People, they pulled the plug, and again, you know, Graham Potter, he just did it. I think he can leave with his head held high, because respectfully to the clubs he's already been at. Obviously, De Zerbi at Brighton's doing well, but the clubs he's previously managed, he will get them sort of jobs again, and he'll probably for the rest of his career, you know, always be linked with taking the England job potentially one day. He just weren't built for it from a technical front, from a tactical front. You know, obviously in terms of player relationships, in terms of having an identity, in terms of handling the press, he just wasn't ready for Chelsea. Like even in the aftermath of the Villa game, he's not wrong in talking about expected goals, but there's a time and a place. I'm pretty sure Chelsea fans don't want to hear about expected goals of McGinn scoring from the position he did when their team has lost and been on a barren run and sit 11th in the Premier League. Really, the Champions League is all they can really look forward to. Please let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and all of those sort of things. As you can see here, people, Fabrizio Romano has said, I understand there have already been approaches for Julian Nagelsmann to be the new Chelsea coach. Talks will continue to make a final decision, but he's the favourite. No confirmation on Pochettino links at this stage. Nagelsmann mentioned in internal talks yesterday. So they've obviously been drawing up blueprints as to who will be the next manager potentially at Chelsea for a number of periods now. You know, this has been going on for weeks, and they've continuously let Graham Potter continue, but now they pulled the plug. Fabrizio's doubled down and said Chelsea approached Nagelsmann as top candidate. No compensation talks with Bayern Munich yet. Internal discussions will continue to make best decision. Ruben Amorim of Sporting Lisbon, who dumped out Arsenal, also appreciated. Once again, there are no talks with Pochettino as of now, people. Once again, you can see Nagelsmann is the man in the front seat. Bruno Salato, I believe, will take care of Chelsea in the interim, people. He'll be their head coach. And obviously, Chelsea play Liverpool on Tuesday. We'll be doing a watch along, so make sure you got your notifications on, people. So yeah, and I mean, stats don't lie. You know, they can be taken out of context, but still, Graham Potter has the joint lowest points per game return of any manager to take charge of 20 plus games for Chelsea in the Premier League. It says it all there, really and truly. You know, and they're underperforming again. You know, and let's have it right. As poor as Chelsea might be by their own standards, a lot of managers who have lost their jobs or currently in positions now in the Premier League would probably kill to have a number of the players or potentially the Chelsea squad that is available. I know Chelsea fans will probably have a lot of opinions individually and collectively, and some players do need to go, but very few of them players are actually like dog water, bog standard. There's a lot of decent players there, and can Potter say he maximized all of his resources? Can he say his defense is defending to a certain capacity where it's evident maybe new players are needed? The same goes for midfield, and the same obviously goes up front. And I think he's naive from a tactical point of view as well. I look back to the London derby against Spurs. He's bringing on Aubameyang and Mudryk with no real time to impact the game per se. And you're not going to get the time. Chelsea don't give you time if you're not warranted it. He's going to have to move forward. What I would say in the wider scope of growing as a manager, obviously, Brendan Rodgers probably got the Liverpool job too early. It helped him, obviously, probably learn from that, do what he did at Celtic. And he did win an FA Cup, forgive me if I'm wrong, at Leicester. So all hope is not lost with Graham Potter. You know, you have to learn from your L's, but his Chelsea reign is over. And so is the HD cuts. Again, the table don't lie, people. We've played 28 games. At the end of the day, Chelsea are 11th behind newly promoted Fulham. Emre's doing great for Aston Villa. Liverpool have had a terrible season by their own standards, but they're somewhere in front of Chelsea to a certain degree, exaggerating, of course. Brighton are running high, and Chelsea mathematically can still get Champions League football. Obviously, one way it would be winning the champs, God forbid, but it looks extremely unlikely, really and truly. And again, it's an exciting Premier League because the league, the qualifications for certain competitions, relegation, there's not much in it anywhere in the table. Newcastle are now third, Man United sit fourth. Obviously, they have a game in hand at Spurs, who are fifth, and as terrible as their season's been, Champions League football is in reach. Brentford, Villa, Fulham, you know, Brighton, you can't rule them out. And as you know, from 12th to 20th, nobody knows what's going on. I hope Southampton can pull off a result against City. Realistically, they won't. But yeah, people, Graham Potter's ultimately been sacked. He's lost his job. You know, there's been a lot of managers who have lost their roles this season. Please let me know your thoughts. Appreciate you lot for being tuned in late night with myself. I'll see you lot tomorrow, people. Hit the like button, subscribe, follow on all the socials. Make sure you're checking out Spotify as well. Put my videos on MP3 for you lot so you can listen while you're driving. On that note, stay blessed, stay safe. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button if you haven't. I'm out.
Because you always use that active red light, defending.
I think it's like